ProAction Cops and Kids is one of the most important resources that the police service can draw upon to build appropriate relationships, solid relationships, respectful relationships and trusting relationships with young people. That mutual respect and trust is the foundation upon which we can make sure that those kids make good choices, live in safe neighborhoods, can be proud of the neighborhood they live in and the school that they go to. And I want every young person in this city to know and trust a cop.
Policing happens at a divisional level, so you do have a localized geographic environment. And what happens is crime will hit that spot and it's going to spread like wildfire. The same theory can be applied to actual positive programming, where once we get in there, we build those relationships, it does have a wave effect. And once you build that up on a small localized environment or a localized area, it tends to increase any sort of information sharing between what's actually going on in the community and what the police can do to help.
It's a domino effect where, even kids that aren't part of the hockey program know that that police officer or myself or one of the other coaches is a coach in the league because they hear the other kids calling them coach. And the drastic change that we've seen in attitudes towards police officers is unbelievable.
It keeps kids off the streets when they would be getting into trouble, and instead is involving them in a positive way. It's keeping the kids physically fit. It is getting them interested in other activities such as music. It's building a relationship. That's the huge part.
I certainly believe that if we're able to make a positive impact on young people, that we can undercut the crime base for the future. If we can reach out to kids and get them on a positive footing now and turn them into the kind of community member that is going to stand up and lead the community in a positive direction, then we win the war on crime before it even starts with them.
It's just so easy for them to get into trouble, and once they get into trouble, it's really hard to get back on the other side. And if early on in their lives you can show them sort of a moral compass and a beacon on which they can set themselves up to fulfill all the promise they have. And I think we've seen time and time again, police officers have actually been a significant influence in getting people on the right track.
The police officers have sure made it a success by the time that they've contributed. They're out with the kids all the time on whatever it may be, whether it's playing basketball or baseball or football or fishing trip or whatever. It's the police officers that are with those kids that are making them better citizens.
What comes out of these programs is phenomenal, and it's very difficult to measure unless you talk to the children and the youth that have been in the programs when they were younger, and when you talk to them as adults, then you hear firsthand how they say, this shaped my life, this made a difference, I'll always remember small camp, I'll always remember that activity that I was engaged in.
Joining this program kind of opened up different opportunities for me and allowed me to come in the mornings and practice and learn guitar. It makes me feel good because there's many things that you can get involved in that are negative, but to have a program that funds those kind of activities makes you think that people actually do care for youth.
The best part is that I have things to do because I don't like being bored or sitting at home. I like getting involved with the community and being with people, and I get to interact and make new friends and have fun with the officers.
Since the ProAction program started, the students have become not only receptive to having the police there, they're actually clamoring for more programs. The programs right now are full, they're bursting at the seams. The kids love them. I know the schools are running on such a tight budget, they don't have an extra dime. If this kind of funding wasn't available, we'd be losing these kids, and it's a battle we fight every day. Some days I talk to my staff and I say, we're fighting for these kids' souls, and there's no other way to put it.
Well, the funding's extremely important. I mean, the money that you donate every year and the money that everybody here is donating is extremely important for us because a lot of officers will be doing this out of their own pockets. This also gives them the time and the money to basically pick better activities and more organized activities. And let's face it, with what's happening in the city and with the government cutbacks and the city cutbacks, I mean, it's going to get harder and harder for us to do this type of community policing.
ProAction could not exist without the dedicated people who sit on their board, who do their community outreach, and who raise their funds. And I've had the opportunity to go and meet some of the best citizens in the city of Toronto who come, spend their time, invest in ProAction, and investing in ProAction, they're investing in us, they're investing in their city. And perhaps most importantly, they're investing in the young people of this city. And that wouldn't happen without the very generous support of ProAction donors. Every time I see them, all I can say is thanks, and to assure them that they're getting a good return on their investment, that we're using their generous support to go and make a difference in our city, and it's producing outstanding results.
The whole is much bigger than the sum of the parts. I think people, and I know a number who've supported ProAction from a funding basis, have become regular contributors because they see the benefits from it, and I think they feel good when they see the results that their personal generosity is actually making a difference. Clearly the kids who've been involved in programs have spoken loud and clear about the benefits to them, and the police officers who choose, many of them on their own time, to think about the programs, to execute the programs, and give a lot of their personal selves, clearly get a lot of satisfaction, else they wouldn't do it.
I have to tell you that I've changed the way we police the City of Toronto in large part of what I've learned from my interaction with ProAction, because the benefit of working closely with our communities and with young people has really produced results. And so we're going to continue to build on that experience, build on the lessons that we have learned from that. I think community engagement, particularly with young people, has proven itself to be our best crime fighting tool.
The fact that the ProAction Cops and Kids program is there has made such a tremendous difference. It's so hard to put into words. The ProAction program is an amazing, amazing program. I would never have guessed that it would make such a huge difference, but it does.
Part of living in a great city is living in a safe city, and I think the work that ProAction has done over the years has contributed to the greatness in Toronto and the notion of a safe city. ProAction Cops and Kids is a very worthwhile community endeavor, and were it not for ProAction, then I think over the years some of the kids who benefited from the program would be in a very different place.
There's nothing greater than putting a smile on a kid's face, and you just can't beat that. There's no paycheck, there's no reward, there's no award that could ever replace pure happiness on a kid's face.
Thank you, ProAction.
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 ProAction Cops and Kids, 20 years of bridging the gap.